Bills, I was just told it in my earpiece, are going to do Hard Knocks. They've been selected. Now, usually you get boring teams or dysfunctional teams or chaotic teams or teams. That's why Hard Knocks eliminates all the good teams. So Buffalo is actually fascinating. So this is a team that they're the only team. I saw this yesterday. The Buffalo Bills, not Philadelphia, are the only team to be favored in every game next year. So the Eagles face Buffalo at the end of the season. And right now, Buffalo's a 1.5-point favorite in that game. You can bet it. So my takeaway on this is Buffalo, this sounds like a good problem. Buffalo's in a really tough spot. Josh Allen just turned 29. He's audaciously talented, 6'6", 255 or more, and a great runner. He's in the middle of his prime. And last season, off his best season, the Kansas City Chiefs were the single most vulnerable Chiefs team since Mahomes arrived. O-line issues, receiver maturity issues, health issues, and Kansas City still beat him in the AFC Championship. And when Sean McDermott got into those short yardage situations with Josh Allen leaping over, I've got to be honest, it looked like a defensive coach that was a bit unprepared on 3rd and 4th and 1 calls. It was really bad. It was the opposite of the tush push. It looked unpracticed. And so here's the problem. Sean McDermott is a good coach. In fact, I'd say he's a really good coach. Is he Mark Jackson to the Warriors, where he's a good coach, a playoff coach, a smart coach, but not the championship coach? And if you look at the AFC now, you've got Andy Reid, both Harbaughs, Sean Payton's in it. Oh, oops, Mike Vrabel just reappeared. So it's very easy when you watch one of those music shows to spot great and lousy. You know, it's just not that hard to see mediocre or bad or great. What do you do with good to pretty good? And it would be one thing if Buffalo had 7 trophies. They're the one team in the National Football League who is now on its second run that's going to last over a decade, that's good enough to get there, often gets there, and has no trophies. They're like the last. I mean, it was one thing when the Cubs won a World Series. They were just bad forever, the lovable losers. Now, Buffalo's had the Jim Kelly era, the Josh Allen era, where we're like, I think half those years they were the best team in the NFL. And they got no trophies. So that adds to the tension in the city. If you got trophies like the Packers or the Eagles in the back room, it's a different vibe entirely. So how long is Deion Dawkins going to remain healthy at left tackle? I looked this morning, Josh Allen's cap hit is going up. It's kind of the Sean McDermott dilemma, where he's not bad, but I don't think he's great, but I think he's good to pretty good. And the Warriors moved off Mark Jackson, and it was a risk because Mark Jackson was a good coach. So you do get to a point with Buffalo. It's interesting that they're going to be the HBO Max show or the HBO show, Hard Knocks. Usually it is a team with an outrageous personality at coach or at quarterback. McDermott's pretty muted, pretty intense. I do think Buffalo's interesting. But they're the only team favored to win every game next year. And yet, here we are. Do you really think Kansas City had its worst, most vulnerable team? Now, they got blown out in the Super Bowl. This was their most vulnerable year. And now it's Peyton. Now it's both Harbaughs. Here comes Vrabel. And all of them have their quarterbacks. John Harbaugh's got his quarterback. Jim Harbaugh's got his quarterback. Sean Payton's got his quarterback. Mike Vrabel, Drake May, I think, has got his quarterback.
And Josh Allen is the best quarterback. That's the difference. But this question, you can see at the bottom, it says, will Allen lead Buffalo to a Super Bowl? I've already gone through all the data, all the stats, all the games. Josh Allen simply can't do any more for this team. Being the leading rusher in majority of the playoff games, playing out of his mind. He plays the best statistically out of any other quarterback in playoff losses than any other quarterback. Like, it's just what this man does is outrageous. And people always wonder, whoa, what did he do? He's bad in crunch time. And it's like, none of that is ever true. And that's why I'm like, a part of me wants to like really just to be able to get all this information and put it all together, because I've already put it in previous videos, but then just like having this own running document that I can kind of keep, repeating. But I don't want to fall into that trap where every time I make a Josh Allen video, I have to be like, well, this is what he did. This is what he did. And I just, because it's like, you either get it or you don't. And I don't see these videos and this, this as a platform to just having to keep, just keep turning on the light again and again and again and again and again, or just keep ringing that bell. That's boring to me. I would hate if I'm watching Colin Cowherd and if he just, kept saying that again and again and again. But it's one of the burdens that I have by reading the comments, because I know I make a Josh Allen video or Buffalo Bills video and people come in and just spew that nonsense, and that is what it is, nonsense. And my theme this year with the Buffalo Bills is not defending or praising Josh Allen. Been there, done that. If you don't see it, you never will. To me, it's all Sean McDermott. And this is why I had said, and I had said this, in a couple videos recently, it's like, if they don't win the Super Bowl outside of some injuries, it's just like, I'm just like, fire everyone, man. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. And Josh Allen's not the problem. Josh Allen's not the problem. And I know other fans are going to be like, why are you blaming Sean McDermott for the offense? He's the defensive side of the ball. It's like, he's still the head coach. He's still the one that would need to be like, this is not a good enough play, or we need to practice this more. Like, he's still the head coach. He's still the one that's running the practices. He's still the one that's saying, this is what this team needs, etc., etc. Like, that's what you have when you're the head coach. And like I've said as well many times now, I do not watch big time Buffalo Bills games and I can say Sean McDermott won the Bills this game. That was Sean McDermott. And I could say that watching Andy Reid. I could say that with I'll just use the Super Bowl. I could say that with Fangio's defense. You were able to be like, that was Fangio's defense. That was genius. That was Fangio in the Super Bowl. That was Fangio getting, Cooper DeJean ready, Mitchell ready, etc., etc. Like you can see it, right? And I don't see that. And quite frankly, the fact that the Eagles, let's just say defense. Let's not even use offense. Let's not even say the best O-line in the history of the world and Saquon Barkley, etc., etc. Let's just use the defense. The defense was able to get after Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in a way that over the years, regular season, playoffs, whatever, whether the Bills were all out, completely healthy or not healthy at all, not once were they able to do what the Philadelphia Eagles did in the Super Bowl. And if you're now the defensive head coach, you're supposed to be the big daddy of that defense. You're supposed to be the reason why you're hired is to be able to have these big time defensive games. Like, that is the core of why we got you for this team. It's because you're supposed to build this defense into an awesome force. And sure, over the years you've had high rankings. Definitely. And that's awesome. But in the games, in the moments that matter most, doesn't come up. And it becomes indefensible to me. It becomes indefensible to me. When this defense was even healthier earlier on in the season, they played the Chiefs, didn't play like the Eagles did against them. Didn't play like the Eagles in the playoffs. Not last year, not the year before, not regular season, not playoffs, nothing. And it's crazy. And if you say, well, the Eagles have such a better team and better defense, build a better team. Draft a better team. They don't have some rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. They paid their quarterback lots of money. They seemingly overpaid for Saquon Barkley. They got 2 number 1 wide receivers. They pay their O-line. Like, they're spending money left and right. It's not like they just got lucky, drafted some great rookie quarterback, and we're on a rookie deal, so they built a team in a way that no other team could do. That's not the case at all. They didn't get lucky and draft some 4th-round running back who now ended up being like an absolute monster that just was like nobody saw. Like they didn't get lucky in that regard. They built this team. They drafted this team. They traded for this team. They paid for that team. So again, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you're looking just a few hours away down to Philly, and you're just like, what the heck? And this is what I said to Buffalo Bills fans before. I can guarantee you that every single Buffalo Bills fan believes that Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. And so if we get into this whole quarterback conversation of who's better, because there's Eagles fans that believe that Jalen Hurts is better than Josh Allen. I argue against that all the time. And then my whole thing is like, okay, Buffalo Bills fans, you believe that Josh Allen is better than Jalen Hurts. That's fair. I agree with you. And yet, Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl. And he beat the Kansas City Chiefs, the team that you cannot get past in the playoffs. If that's not the biggest wake-up call, like, I don't know what is. I really don't, because there's no way you can reliably explain it away. I would be more open if the Chiefs, they lost in the AFC Championship game, and it happened to not be, the Bills, right? So now the Bills aren't in the Super Bowl. It was the Ravens or some other team, and you're like, oh, well, the Eagles won, but they didn't have to play the Chiefs, right? And the Chiefs just lost a tough game in the AFC Championship. I don't know, like something that happened that's a little bit more fluky, because I think it would be, that would have been a benefit. Or, again, injuries, Patrick Mahomes was banged up, whatever. Like the Kansas City Chiefs were healthier in the Super Bowl than they were in the AFC Championship game. I mean, that was Nick Wright's whole argument, that this is the healthiest this team has been all year long. And yet the Eagles did not do. Jalen Hurts looked like a better quarterback against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think Josh Allen is absolutely a better quarterback. But the difference is that the Eagles consistently put Jalen Hurts in a position to succeed and support him, whereas Josh Allen is constantly left on that. I got PTSD from that opening drive with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills against the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's why this has been one of my actual repeating, segments, is just like, watch that AFC Championship game. Look at what Andy Reid does to put Patrick Mahomes in positions to succeed. And look at how the Buffalo Bills pretty much never do that throughout that game. And it's hard in the first watch, because you're watching it, you're emotional, you don't really know what's about to happen. You're like, I can't believe they threw the flag. They're like, oh my God, is that a touchdown? Was that a fumble? That wasn't a fumble. Like, you're just going back and forth with a lot of emotions. But now that it's settled, it's months ago, you already know the outcome. Really just sit there, go back and watch it again. Really sit there and watch it and see the smoothness and see the key moments that the defense does to really put and make things difficult for Josh Allen and this offense in ways that you simply do not see Sean McDermott do it. And you can't just constantly use like, oh, well, so-and-so got injured and this or that. The Eagles dealt with injuries on defense. Like they had, a bunch of key players for them all got banged up. One of them had a season-ending injury in against the Green Bay Packers. Like they had to play some backups in there. They have one of their big players is hanging on by a thread, minutes away from retiring, constantly going in and out of the game with like phantom injuries. So it's just you got to find ways sometimes. Obviously, of course, if you get decimated by injuries and it's just cluster and there's like, okay, there's nothing you can do. I get that. And I'm not the type of person who's like, you got to find a way no matter what. Like, I'm not like that at all. But it just like you can't always come up with excuses, is my point. Especially when it's year after year after year. Because then you're just saying, well, this team is just so unlucky. And I'm like, I find that hard to accept. So, yeah. The Bills are the only team to be favored in every game. And yet, Colin's like, I don't know. And it's true. The Chiefs were incredibly vulnerable last year. And the Eagles rocked them. And the Chiefs and the Bills lost. That's real. And you have to accept that. And you have to figure out why. Why was another team able to beat the team that we have been unable to beat for the last 2 years? Why was another team able to beat them in a way that we have never done? What is going on here? You got to get to the root of it. You got to get to the core of it. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, I am more confident in this than I am probably anything else. It is 1,000%, 10,000%, 1,000,000% nothing to do with that man right there, Josh Allen. Nothing. He's not the problem at all. He's the only reason why your team is even remotely anything. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen? Will Allen lead Buffalo to a Super Bowl? Will Sean McDermott lead Buffalo to a Super Bowl? And if not, what changes do you think need to be made? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.